Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to cut up a pineapple, and I'm going to use the stuff that we usually throw out to make a pineapple tea. Follow along here, and hope you enjoy. So first, I'm going to cut up a small piece of ginger. I have washed it, but I'm not going to peel it because we're not going to eat this. This is just going to steep along with the pineapple skins to make that tea. So we're going to get that sliced up. So this is about a 2-inch piece. I use as much or as little as you like. If you don't like ginger, don't add it. If you do like it, it's wonderful because it is an antioxidant. So it helps with inflammation and actually tastes quite nice. It's not very hot. So I'm just going to slice this all up. There we go. So I'm just going to slice that all up here. We're going to add that into the pot. We'll just dump that in the bottom. Next, we're going to twist the top off the pineapple. So discard that. So we'll put that in the sink here. I'm going to lay this pineapple on its side. Cut through the top. Sorry about the ding there. Hit the pot with my knife. And cut through the bottom. This gives you an even... Sorry, I think I need to sharpen my knives up a little bit here. So this is gonna, it's quite tough to get through. So we're gonna take this top and the bottom, and we're gonna toss it in the pot, and we're going to peel everything. So let's see here. So I go about 1 centimeter all the way down all sides. And as each piece comes off, like I said, we're just gonna add it to the pot. So let's get that trimmed. I'm going to curve a little bit at the bottom to trim those little bits, but we can trim those off afterwards. And a little bit of flesh doesn't hurt because it helps with the sweetness and flavor for this pineapple tea. Maybe is the best way to put it. There's no tea in it, but certainly a refreshing drink, hot or cold. Okay, let's get the rest of this done here. And one more. Okay, so we're going to check the bottom. I'll flip this over onto its other flat side. And there is a little bit more to cut off here. So we're just going to take that off. Perfect. So we're going to add some water to our pot. Let's see here. So I have a jug of water all set here. And we're going to just put this in, cover it over to the top. You can see the ginger's in the bottom hiding there, and we're just going to add that whole jug in. So once that's in, we're going to take it to the stove. Sorry, I am going to add some cinnamon in. Usually would add a cinnamon stick, but unfortunately I don't have any right now, so I've got to stock up on those. And we're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon and let this simmer for approximately half an hour. Okay, so I've got this on the stove on high heat for the moment. We're going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to add that teaspoon of cinnamon, so just kind of sprinkle that around, and I'll use this to stir in, which will be fine. If you like more cinnamon, you can add more in. You don't need a lot, but this will mix in fairly well. So we're going to let that come to a boil. Once it's come to a boil, we're going to turn down to simmer for approximately half an hour, so it kind of gives it time to steep. And then we will strain it and put it in a container to cool to room temperature and go from there. Okay, so while that's coming to a boil, I'm going to cut up my pineapple. What I want to do also is add the stems into that pot, because that stem actually has a lot of flavor. So I cut it in half, cut it in quarters. We'll lie those down for now. Cut this other half and half again. There we go. And each piece down here has this tough stem here, which you really can't eat. Nobody wants to eat that. So we're going to chop those off. There we go. I'll set those aside because we want to put those into our pot for steeping to add a little bit more flavor. You know, I'm all about saving $1 and finding things that are good for you and healthy, eating naturally. I can't say I don't eat some processed once in a while. If I'm lazy, I do have a box of Kraft Dinner And if I just don't feel like cooking, which is not too often, but yeah, or you know, ice cream. But I also make some healthy ice creams, so those will be something else I'll be showing in the future on this channel. So we're going to take all of this here, pineapple bits, and I'm going to add them to the pot. So we'll come back in just a moment. Okay, so this has come to a full rolling boil, so we want to turn this down to, I'm going to turn it about halfway just to get it to a simmer, and put the timer on for 30 minutes. So let's go here, timer, and there we go, 30 minutes. So I'm going to just adjust this until I get it to a steady simmer. I've got it down to 2 right now. So we'll, there you go, starting to get there. So we're going to let that simmer for half an hour. If you find that the pieces are too big for your pot, just chop them up, that's fine too. I'm going to give this a stir. You're going to see it does look a little bit foggy due to the cinnamon, but when I strain it, I'm going to strain it through a coffee filter as well. The cinnamon stick, you won't get that fogginess, but even if you do, it tastes wonderful. So let's go from there. I'll see you back in half an hour. Okay, so half an hour's up. This is what it looks like. I've removed most of the pineapple pieces and the ginger. There's a little bit left in there. So I've taken my Pyrex. This is an 8-cup or 2-liter measuring glass. I put a fine sieve in there with a coffee filter. So we're just going to filter that through. Like I said, it won't be perfectly clear because I used powdered cinnamon instead of an actual cinnamon stick, but that's okay too. So we're going to let that go through, and I'll show you our end result, and then we're going to have a hot cup of pineapple tea. Okay, so we're basically done here. What I've done is I've added in a spoonful of honey, which you can see a little bit here. So this is a raw honey from my sister's husband, so my brother-in-law has a friend who owns an apple farm, which is called Drummond's, I believe. And they have people that they connect with that make this Dutchman's Gold Raw Pure Honey. They're from Carlisle, Ontario. So if you're out at Drummond Apple Farm, please check this out. It's super delicious. So I've added a few pineapple pieces that I chopped up earlier, a teaspoon of honey, and I've added in some of our pineapple tea. So I'm going to let the rest of the tea cool so we can have some over ice. I'll keep it in the fridge once it's cooled down to room temperature. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And look forward to having more and more videos for you soon. Thanks.